would say that the entrepreneurship is about solving problems. And if you do it right, you are solving the right problems for the right people and getting compensated for that. Now, you can of course only solve so many problems at any given time. You're not going to cure cancer and feed Africa tomorrow. So we need to be very strategic with where we put our focuses. And I've had the pleasure of learning from over 100 merchants over the last 7 years that we've helped grow their companies. This is a little bit of a framework based on that. Now, with problem solving, as with anything, you have finite resources. So it's very important not to waste those resources. Solving the right problems in the right order, in the right way. How do we get there? So let's go into this framework. And by the way, if you don't know me yet, I'm Samuel Larsen, the founder of ProGurus.com, where we help 6- and 7-figure e-commerce store owners get the most out of their existing e-commerce traffic and grow with conversion rate optimization and average order value optimization. And in this channel, we cover those topics. Now, first question I'd say, you have a bunch of problems here, and you probably have your favorite problem that you want to attack. Now, often I find that it's really good to kind of hold back a tiny bit here and just ask yourself the question of what problem are we solving here? So here, let's take a storefront example. You want to change something on the website. So you have a wish that you want to add new banner images to the carousel, for example. Now, if you ask yourself the question of what problem are we solving, you often can't really come up with a reasonable answer to that question that is actually customer specific. Often it's we need to feature these new collections on this front page and we don't know where to put it, for example. Or we need to have this so that it pops and we have a nice carousel and this kind of thing. So the reasonings are quite lacking in this kind of case, and then you just need to be humble and say all right, there's probably better opportunities here. So this is not the number one thing that we should do, or it doesn't make sense. Second question, once you have asked what problem are we solving, you should ask, is this really a problem? So is it both frequent enough and severe enough so that it warrants solving? Because many times people are chasing these invisible rabbits around with no real purpose for their actual indie actions. So you can ask questions like, how many people is this affecting? So for example, if you don't have certain payment method, how many people have actually complained that you don't have this or asked for it? Or how many people would it actually even affect? So let's say you're thinking of adding Google Pay to your store. Typically we see less than 2% using it. So it's affecting a pretty short or small number of people. Then secondly, you can ask how severe is the problem. So if you, for example, don't have Google Pay on our store, can people still check out? Well, yeah, they can, right? And probably majority do, because they're not expecting that payment. So there, the problem is probably not that severe. And you can even combine this with a ranking. So let's say you rank the frequency from 1 to 5, and then severity from 1 to 5, then you get an average score from it. And this way, you can rank your problems and then come up with the right next thing to do based on sort of objective or more objective mathematical priority. Third question, what are all the other ways of solving the problem? So here, once you have defined the problem, you probably had a solution for it before you even started from question 1. So you probably wanted to do something before you had really defined the problem. Now that you have defined the problem, you can look at alternative ways of solving the problem. Sometimes the first thing that comes to mind is not the best course of action. So here you can even take your team and brainstorm. A great question for brainstorming is, and what else? The so-called the O question. And what else? 3 words. So this way you can get more brainstorming going and you can find out alternative ways to solve the problem. Often you will find something that is either easier/cheaper or more effective. Both are wins. So this is a very worthwhile question. Now, question number 4. This is a little bit eluded in the previous questions. But is this problem worth solving first? So is this the first problem we should solve? So every thing that you do has an opportunity cost. So what other opportunities could we tackle with this amount of energy, resources, and basically attention? So here, just make sure that this is the problem that is worth solving first. And here, it's all about understanding the opportunity cost of this particular choice. Number 5, and here we're also circling back to the number 3 question. The number 3 question was, what are all the other ways of solving the problem? Now, number 5, and the last question in the stack, we are asking, what is the best way to solve the problem? So, here we have outlined those previously, and now we've decided that this is the number 1 problem we should solve. What is the best way to solve the problem? So we are asking one more time to check whether this is the one that we should tackle. And this way, you don't only find the right problem to solve, you find the best way to solve it. And beyond that, once you have done those 2 steps, you're also way more committed to solving this problem. You know that it's not just a problem, it's the problem. It's the problem that you should solve. So you can attack that with moxie and go after it, make your problem go away, and enjoy the success of living without that problem. Go tackle the next one, and there you go. You're in the loop, which is a good loop to be in. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want more of these videos. If you watched this far, hit the like, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.